Hi there, I'm Daryl Olson from Jackson Fishing Team, and welcome to the channel. And if you're new here, welcome. And this is our series of some trout flies. The one I'm going to tie today is a sulfur spinner, and we'll take a look at that. Just to let you know, I'll be in the UK and England for a couple of weeks, starting 3rd of April, running through the 17th of April, and then I'll be back. So if there's any delay in anything, it's probably because of that. I'm trying to get caught up where I can have these things all autoplay on YouTube. So anyway, let's take a look at the fly, and we'll get tying. All right. This here is the sulfur spinner that we're going to tie. Pretty easy tie. So let's take it out of the hook, and I'll explain the materials as we go along. The hook I'm going to use is a J Stockert J2 105 in a size 14. And I'm going to go ahead and debarb that hook. And the thread I'm going to use is a brown 8/0. Use a 6 if you want. We're just going to start this back behind the eye of the hook, and we're going to take it to where the barb used to be. And for the tail, I'm going to use some Mallard flanks dyed Woodduck. And I'll get rid of the fluff. And tear that off. And make sure the fibers are about a hook shank in length. Next, I'm going to dub the body. I'm going to use some Kapok dubbing from Semperfli, and I'm going to use this Sulphurea, kind of yellow. You could probably use a yellow dubbing. And I'm just going to use a little bit, like a pinch here. Need a little bit more. On there. For the spent wings, I'm going to use some Parapost wing material in white. And sometimes when you get it, there'll be like a little knotted area. And just take your bodkin and pull that knot out. And then I'm going to tie this right on top. Kind of divide it in half. Right there with a couple wraps. And next I'm going to do is the thorax. And I'm using some superfine dubbing. And I'm using the auburn or amber color. It's a little darker yellowish orange. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to wrap behind the wings with it. And then I'm going to cross over and behind. And then I'm going to whip finish. And I'm going to measure the length of the body here. And I'm going to pull these wings up and measure the length there. And that gives me my wings about the length of the body. And there you have it. Pretty simple tie on there for a dry fly spent wing. I like to pre-treat my my flies that are dry flies, and I'll normally use Loon Hydrostop, but they don't make that anymore. Instead, similar type product is floating pre-treatment, and it's a liquid, But since I still have some of this hydro stuff, I'm going to do that. And I just take my flies and dump them in there for 15 minutes, and I let them out and let them dry overnight. And let them soak there for 15 minutes. And then they're pre-treated. They'll last a little longer on the water, and then I just have to use the gel or the powder. I like the powder versus the gel. Anyway, hope you found this interesting. Tie up some of these, especially in when those sulfur, the mayflies are doing their thing and they end up dying and they fall back on the water. These spent flies will really get the fish going. All right, we'll see you on the water.